You're listening to the Market Update with Moneyweb, brought to you by the Right Choice Investment from Discovery Invest. Well, David, just as we are talking, Monique Van Eck, our editor at Moneyweb COZA, just sent me through the first profit warning that we've got, and that's from ANSYS. Remember the guys who deal with Transnet and other parts? They're forecasting. I'll just read it very quickly. It's, shareholders advise that ANSYS is currently finalizing its results for the 6 months to end August, and in light of the above, the company will incur a loss for the period. The loss and headline loss are expected to be between 4.5 and 5.5 cents a share. This is a company that listed just the other day.
That's what I can't understand, because they would have known what was in their order book. So where have the orders been withdrawn? You know, this is quite worrying to see something like this, particularly in the area in which they operate, which is still supposed to be the growth side of this market.
John Burke, head of listings at the JSE, is with us in the studio. John, this can't be good news for the JSE overall. When you get a recently listed company, still hasn't really had time to find its feet and already putting out profit warnings.
Yeah, good evening, Alec. No, it's not. It definitely isn't.
But you're not here to talk about that. You're here to talk about your offer to buy the bond exchange of South Africa. It's not like you haven't been talking to them. In fact, there's been discussions and rumors about takeovers for quite some time. Why do you think it'll be different this time around?
Alec, it's fair to say that we've had on and off discussions for about the last decade, the last 10 years. If you can remember, we started off, we talked with SAfm and the bond exchange together for amalgamation of the three. Where SAfm came along after about a year and the bond market chose not to. What's going to be different this time? This time I think precisely happened what happened in SAfm, because if you can remember correctly, SAfm also withdrew from the discussions. It was actually, in fact, their shareholders that then told them, talk to the JSE. And that was the trigger that made SAfm work.
So how does management of the bond exchange feel about this?
Management...
they're not overly keen.
I don't think that they're overly keen. They've got their own strategy. I'm not saying that they're not keen to work with us, but they have devised their own strategy, and obviously they want to put their own strategy into play now.
Let's just hear what the Chief Executive, Garth Grubel, had to say.
From a general point of view, it's not unexpected. It's always been JSE's stated intentions, but they've been very public around it, that they'd like there to be one exchange. From a specific timing point of view, we didn't necessarily expect it now. We're busy appointing advisors and need to look at the merits, and we'll take a view from there. And we have a legal obligation in this regard to make sure that we give it due consideration and that we properly make a recommendation to our shareholders.
Well, Garth's being very sensible about it. It's a normal approach for a company, and they'll talk to the shareholders.
No, absolutely. You know, the point is that we are coming out with our circular now in terms of the SRP requirements. We've got 30 days to come out with our circular. And then there's another 30 days in which shareholders must have a look and obviously consider the merits of the offer on the table.
Who are the major shareholders of Bond Exchange?
The major shareholders after post their rights issue is New Zealand Stock Exchange, Investec, Purple Capital, PSG, those sort of names.
Purple Capital.
Purple Capital.
Judging by their share price, they could do with a bit of cash.
And basically, a lot of those shareholders are also users and shareholders in us.
And what has their response been to your approach so far?
Alec, we couldn't really talk turkey to them until we put the offer on the table. But we started about a couple of months ago on their behest, shareholders' behest, to come and have discussions with them. So we had very general discussions about the market and where they see the market going and what can be better, what can change, etc., etc. And you know, we have had very positive discussions with them. I can't sit here and tell you, you know, the offer's on the table now. Now shareholders got to consider it, and that's it.
There's 173 million rand in cash that you're offering, a premium, you say, of 106% to the net asset value of the bond exchange. How did you come at that price?
Yeah, you just got to look at it very carefully, Alec, because they've got a guarantee fund which is worth about 99 million. So what we did was the net asset value we're talking about, including the guarantee fund, comes to that number.